Hello everybody, it's good to be on here, good to be on stream, good to be making this video for y'all wonderful people. My name is Karthik and I'm with UZ Marketing, and the reason I'm making this video is so I can teach you guys how to design a business card using our free online designer tool, which is pretty nifty. It's a pretty neat software. It's a software as a service. Basically, we have it online on our website. And without any further ado, I'll get straight into it so I can show you guys how to make a nice business card. So first thing, you want to make sure you're selecting the options that you want. Basically, the options that are pre-configured on this website are there's a few different options you can choose from. However, I'm going to assume that you have both sides selected, front and back. And matte or UV doesn't matter, UV coating on both sides. So we'll just pretend we're doing matte, and we'll go to next. Basically, the reason you're clicking next is because the last option asks how will you supply the print designs, and you want to select I will either upload my design or use your editor. If you want to hire us to go ahead and do the design for you, we could do it for just $35 additional, and you could take advantage of our award-winning, high-quality professional design service. But for this video, I will either upload my design or use your editor. So then we hit next, and then we'll do browse templates because we want to browse from the templates that we have available. Using marketing, we have quite a few templates for business cards and for various industries. So depending on your industry, you could choose a template that works best for you. We can actually browse through here and pick something, and I'm going to pretend that we are just going to use this one. No, actually, let's use this one. This one is pretty simple. So the framework is pretty much already available, and it's going to have a bunch of tooltips. However, it could, if you're watching this video, you're probably ready for me to give you those tips and tips and tricks. Wow, I got a tongue-tied on that one. So we have two sides, front and back. This is how you navigate between the two, and you use your mouse to click. You can click on different elements, and you could see things like this window that pops up is giving you information about the item that you just clicked. So this is as you see here, there's a circle, which is a shape, and then text over the shape. So you can choose, you can select the circle. Let's say, for instance, I want this a black card, or let's do red. Let's do a red card, okay? And let's pretend I am with the company Ambit Energy. Not affiliated with them. They are an existing company, and I don't want to get in trouble for using their information. But anyway, we'll go pretend that we're an Ambit Energy agent. So we'll save this image, and I will save it onto my desktop. And then from here, what I want to do is I'm going to upload the image gallery. So you can actually go to this section in one of two ways. So you could either do image gallery, and then upload your image, or you can upload your image from directly into here, and it opens up the folder browser on your desktop or your laptop, and it'll give you the option to choose. So here we go. I am going to make this one. It just gave us some tooltips and stuff too, so just to keep in mind. We are going to essentially replace this information. So I'm going to click it, delete it, click it, delete it, and I'm going to bring it over here. And you could kind of see like this line in the background. This line is a vertical line that indicates some type of guide point, and on here the ruler, you can see that's basically at the 1 inch mark. So this is a 2 by 3.5 inch business card, and this line is right at the 1 inch mark. So by centering it here, it essentially puts it right there in the middle at the 1 inch mark. So here I'll type in Ambit Energy, and it's the company name, so I want to make it a little bit bigger, right? I like using Arial Black. Arial Black is the most prominent and loud font that there is. Well, it not permanently, but this is a good neutral font that a lot of people can actually use because it doesn't sway the viewer's mind in a very specific way. So we'll match either the orange or one of the other oranges. So it's up to you. It depends on how you want to communicate this to your customers. We can even get away with black, or red might work, but probably not. For the sake of this video, let's do one of these oranges. So ambient energy. And again, we can also change this too. And actually, you see how this is going over the green line? The green line is actually what's considered the safe margin. Anything that goes past the green safe margin has a risk of being cut off. So actually, I am not within the guidelines, within the parameters. So I'll reduce it a little bit. And you can see that little line pop up again in the background. That's my marker. That's a guide marker that indicates where I am on the design. So you can check out this line to utilize that information. Okay, so let's keep it UZ marketing. So this, oh no, let's put a person's name. Let's put my own name. And this name right here is a very long name. I have a very long name. So if you have a long name like myself, this would be interesting experience for yourself to find out. So one thing that we can do is potentially this or this. So what I'm essentially doing is bringing the name into two separate lines. So because it's such a long name, I have to break it down into two separate lines. Otherwise, it's going to be visually hard for the viewer or the user to see when they actually hold this business card in their hands. So I'm doing a kind of balance between the two types of oranges. So we have the dark orange right here that was from the some parts of the logo, and then this orange, which is from the other parts of the logo. And if you switch over to the text section on the left side, you can actually see what the text is itself. So as you see here, you can either type it in here, ambit, watch. You see that? I could type it in here, or I could type it in this actual tooltip. And if you press Control Z on a computer, it does the undo command. So this is useful in pretty much anything that you're working with on a computer. If you do Control Z, you can likely undo what you just did. So if you accidentally delete something, hit Control Z. Very neat shortcut to have in life. So anyway, we'll go to the position here. Energy broker. I don't know what their positions are called, so I'm just saying this randomly. So, but I actually want to take this to the next level, because I like to have, personally, I like to have everything in its own line, so it's easier to manipulate by itself. And you see this is a font size of 12, so we'll drop it down to font size of 11, because we don't want to take too much prominence for the energy broker. We want people to know who I am, not what I do so much, because they already probably know what I do if they're seeing my business card. So I will make a separate line with the phone number 598-7226. So we have 832-598-7226, and the way that you actually use these phone numbers, the way that you put the phone number can be designed in a couple different ways, right? Because you have to have a way of splitting up the digits so it's easy to see on the eye. The most common one, and I guess it's generally regarded as the acceptable way to format your phone number, is this. It's the parentheses around the area code and then the dashes between the three segments. So that's a totally acceptable. In fact, that is the de facto accepted way that most people in the United States format their phone numbers. So I personally kind of like this formatting just because it's a little unique. It splits it up by the dots, but it may not work in this format, so we'll stick with the generally accepted to be the de facto one, which is the parentheses and the dashes. So then we'll switch it to, also we'll have to make this a little bit smaller, 9. So we'll make all the contact information at a 9. So then this is giving us the essential information that we should add on a contact info on the business card. So we got the email address, and then the address, and then I guess there's another section for phone number, so you can have the direct line, or you can have the, like, you know, oh, thanks, lawn equipment video. Also, sorry, I got distracted. You just said love your yard signs. Thank you so much. So what there's, like, you can have a direct number, and maybe your partner, maybe you have a partner or somebody else who answers the phone. Like some people in Houston, we actually have customers all the time who have their Spanish phone number and then an English phone number. It's actually 2 partners. One is the English facing one and the Spanish facing one. So in this case, we'll just keep it one number, main number. So I'm just removing stuff so I don't have duplicates of it. Now, one trick that you might have that you might want to use is Control C and Control V. Control C is for copy, Control V is for paste. So I just copied, and now I'm going to paste it. So admin@uzmarketing.com. It's going to keep the formatting the same, 9 font and all that. All that formatting is still the same as the phone number. So we're all working with it in one unit. But we can also make a second one. Admin@uzmarketing.com. Make a second one. The font size to 9. And then now we got to do the address. 900 Bingle Road, Houston, Texas 77092. Bring this to 9 again, and it looks really cluttered, so I'll take care of that in a second here. There. So we're gonna have to fix the formatting here in a second. And then the last thing is the website. So one thing I want to indicate about the website is that you're gonna want to have the website capitalized in a very specific way. Like, there's one way you can do our website, printherehouston.com, and this is how we recommend formatting it. Let's delete this. With the first letter of each word in the website, capitalize it, because if otherwise it's going to look like one big blob. And when it's one big blob, it's hard to see. So that's what I recommend, is having the first letter of each word capitalized. Okay. So we have this contact information. You know, one of the advantages of having it the way that it was, which is having everything in one text box, is it automatically aligns it. So if you did it the way I'm doing it, it's going to be harder to do that automatically, because essentially there are a bunch of different text boxes. So if you want to go to the other route, you absolutely can. You can just Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V, and then Control C, Control V. And now we have duplicates of everything, so we'll just start deleting all this stuff. So you can even add a little bit more spacing. This button right here allows you to control how much spacing you have in between the little line items. So we can do it like that. And then you can make sure it's aligned with this little line right there. So we're working with 2 different size fonts, so it is going to look a little bit weird if you try to align it with this line, or if you do it visually. that should work. Of course, you can also zoom in and whatnot, so you can see it from a very close-up perspective. All right, so these color schemes seem to work together, orange and black. Now let's do the back side. In the back side, a lot of times what people do is they just use this for the business side, like just the business information. So we have right here, I'll just click it, and then, sorry, I accidentally moved it. So hold the control button and click it, plus click something else while holding the control button. Or actually, it's the shift button. You hold the shift button, or you just drag and drop. And you can copy it by hitting Control C. And then on this side, we could do Control V to paste it. So we'll get rid of these things. And this background, actually, we're going to have to change it from the background color. It's currently green. We can change it to that orange. Actually, I don't know where it went. I think it might actually be hard coded into the template itself. So in order to get around that, we can make a completely different rectangle, and no stroke, just fill it as orange. And what you can do essentially from this is you send it to the back. And by sending it to the back, you send it all the way in the last layer, but then you can bring it up one layer and bring it one layer higher. Now, this, you see there's a little square right here in the background. You can kind of play around with the masking. You can kind of use one of these things that essentially gives you the option to remove the background in a very specific way. So we have a couple different options. One that works a lot of the time is just the circle. This is no mask. It undoes the mask. So, little different things you can play with based on what it is that you choose. So I had the ambient energy somewhere around here too. I think I lost it. Anyway. Oh, here it is. So I'll just delete it because it's going to get in the way. Now, text, ambient energy. And this side is purely for branding purposes. It serves nothing. We don't want to have too much information on this side, because typically one side of a business card is reserved for the contact information, and the other side is reserved for just branding. So let's put a tagline here. This is not the actual Ambit tagline. I'm just using this as an example. Best prices, or call me for best prices, or something like that. Maybe that wouldn't actually be a good tagline on the back. Saving you money today. So you see how the formatting is off on this thing? We can hit this little button right here to center it. So now this is a centered text. This basically centers the alignment. So you can either do left alignment, right alignment, or center alignment. It makes it so that these things are split down the middle, and it's a little bit easier on the eyes. And here we go with the formatting of this. Is the first letter of each word is capital. And one little known fact is that a lot of the times it does not matter if you put the www dot in front of the website name. In most instances it should be fine. However, if you are working with a subdomain, in the instance of this website that we're on, materials.uzmarketing.com, then it's important not to put the www, because if you do, it's not going to work. So most websites don't have this issue, so you can omit the www dot, but some people like it too. And also there are practical purposes from doing it, which is to kind of lengthen the size of it, and you can kind of have this graphic, it like it's not really a good circle right here, but you can kind of manipulate it to kind of flow in this way, or you don't have to do that, and you could still kind of make it flow, but you just do align center here. This will align it in the direct center of the business card. So then you could do that with this one as well, middle align here. So now this is in the exact middle of the business card, but it looks a little bit off now. So we can move it around here. We can play around with that, remove this if you want to, and 50 is too big. So we could do something like that. And if you have a word mark for your company name, you can of course upload that as well by doing the image and upload the image. So on the back we have orange and white, front we have orange and black. So if we want to make it consistent, we can make this black. Screams a little too loud, so do regular Arial and bold. White's better in my opinion. I like the way the white looks. It's a little bit easier on the eyes. So alternatively, you can put this up at the top, bring this all to one line. The text box was not long enough, so it didn't put it all in one line. So I'll reduce the size of this, ambient energy. Now we have to center everything, so you can use the align center, and align center. So this one's already centered, so you can do it like this. Another neat little trick you could do is to kind of separate these areas by putting a rectangle. You can remove the stroke by hitting no stroke. So now send to back, but layer up. Bring this down a little bit, and then so this is basically giving it the effect of it having a multicolored background. We can even go so far as to make this the orange that we made it on the front. And there you have it. Here's a business card. I'm not a designer by any means, so you're not getting design advice from a designer. You're getting design advice from someone who knows how to work with the design studio. So we do have a professional design service as well. If you think that this is a little too complicated, we'll be happy to take care of these graphic design projects for you. For business cards, we only charge $35 for a professional business card design. Or of course, you can use our templates. There's plenty of templates for you to choose from. Make sure that when you go through the checkout process, when you're happy with your design, make sure you hit approve. And then you have to take one more step after that, which is I agree to terms of use, and then continue checkout. This is going to add the design to your shopping cart. And once it's added to your shopping cart, you can be assured that it's in your portfolio for you to use at a later time. If you have other people that work with you, you can hit create another version, and you can create same product and same size. Essentially what this does is it makes another version of the exact same design so that you can add it to for the next person. So you can say Michael Johnson and whatnot. You can put the second person. So you can do that and so forth for the next person. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This video, hopefully it's good and hopefully it helps you guys. If it does, feel free to leave a thumbs up, a like, comment, whatnot, subscribe, all that good stuff. So I appreciate you guys so much for watching all the way through to the end, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.